Welcome to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. I hope you'll had a wonderful start to your week and a wonderful Valentine's Day. So today we're going to get into some hot royal topics, and I'm going to kick the hornet's nest. So please keep in mind, I am not accusing anyone of being guilty or innocent. I am simply presenting to you the stories that are out in the press. Now, when I do this, it is to have open dialogue of all opinions. So don't get offended and don't get mad at me. If I say something you don't agree with, that's fine. This is for entertainment purposes based upon facts and, of course, my opinion, but I want to have an open dialogue, so please take that with a grain of salt when you come to my channel. Everyone is very strongly opinionated. I respect your opinion, but please respect mine. So with that, let's get into the Royal Daily Tea of the week. The very first topic, of course, that we want to cover is the Andrew case. I did a small video on it yesterday, but Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre have decided to settle out of court. Now, this is actually kind of confusing considering the fact that Andrew, I believe 2 weeks ago, released a statement through his lawyers that they were looking forward to having his day in court to defend his name. And Virginia Giuffre, or Giuffre, has always said that she wants him to pay, that she definitely wants to go to court and she wants to hold the people who are responsible accountable for their actions. Well, all of a sudden, we get the announcement today that they have settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. So this causes quite a few problems on both sides of the coin. So no matter what you think, it is very, very hard to prove her allegations. A lot of people just automatically take her word due to her association with the disgraced billionaire and his island and all of his activities that he did, which unfortunately was disgusting and true. This man was a horrible person, as we know. So Andrew, being friends with the disgraced billionaire, can't say his name for YouTube purposes, he was guilty by association. And honestly, all the men who went to that island are disgusting and vile, in my opinion. And there's so many people who were not held accountable that I believe that Andrew kind of became the scapegoat. And there's other people I wish could have come to trial, but that's another video. So the only thing that Virginia Giuffre really had in her case against Andrew was that photograph. She pulled that photograph out and which appeared on every single TV show. All that photograph really proved was the fact she met Andrew at one time, supposedly with Ghislaine Maxwell in the background. The problem with that was that Virginia Giuffre had actually lost the original photograph. So I believe this was a copy of the original photograph. So then that brought in the question of, well, was it photoshopped? Because I'm a graphic designer and you can Photoshop things very well. Now, Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend, I guess, came out to his defense and said that it was actually photoshopped, that she was actually somewhere else, and she put up this really horrible image, which looked really, really bad. But I don't believe it was photoshopped. I believe that they had met each other. They might have even had an intimate encounter with one another. All we know is they were together, and I believe that photograph was authentic. But the problem is she didn't have the original photo. So when you're going to go to a court and accuse someone of abusing you against your will, and you have a copy of an original photo, and it's your word against his word, and that's all you have a really hard time proving you weren't consensual, because she was paid to be there with other men. She received thousands of dollars. She also was recruiting other girls for the disgraced billionaire and receiving money for that as well. She was technically an employee of the disgraced billionaire. She wasn't just an innocent girl standing there being held against her will. She looked like she was having a good time in the photo. She actually wanted to take the photo with Prince Andrew for her mother. It was like she was almost fangirling over Prince Andrew. And he kind of just looks like, oh, okay, we're taking a photo. You see what I'm saying? He's just kind of like not even thrilled to be in the photo. And you could tell she's like, oh, here, let me get a picture with Prince Andrew. And boy, that photo has paid her, millions of dollars. Now, I'm not defending Andrew. I'm not saying that he's innocent, but I don't think he's the villainized monster that she's creating him out to be, considering the fact she's not without guilt. Now, whether or not she was trafficked or was a victim at some point in her life, we're not going to get into that. We're specifically talking about this case between Andrew and Virginia. And the problem is the fact that they both settled out of court. It makes you wonder why. I personally believe her lawyers were like, take the money, we don't have a case. Or if we go to court, all of your skeletons are going to come out and you're not going to look like a victim anymore. Because back in 2007, 2009, the disgraced billionaire paid her $500,000 and made her sign a contract where she would not sue them or speak about the people that she worked with. Now, why would he have her do that? He didn't have the other girls sign those NDAs as far as I know. He didn't pay out those other girls as far as I know because she was an employee of him. And he was worried that she would come after him, so he made her sign an NDA. Now, I'm not aware if other girls have done it, so let me know in the comments if they have. But I find that a little weird that he had her specifically do that, and she took the money. And then, of course, when everything hit the fan and it became public knowledge, she comes out of the woodwork with her photo with Andrew and gets on TV and gets all these interviews and then tells everyone she wants her day in court because she was a victim, and then immediately settles for money, right? So again, it's making it look like this was a cash grab and she was using a copy of a photo and accusing him of attacking her or abusing her while she was underage. Now, I don't know specifically what the timeline was. Maybe she was 17, but at the end of the day, she was smiling. She looked very happy. I know she might have been trafficked at some point in her life, and I do feel bad for her. I don't think she was out without blame. She stayed there for 2 to 3 years. So I don't know how I feel about it, but it does look a little bit suspicious that all of a sudden they both settled out of court. Now, of course, with Andrew, I can understand why he settled out of court. It's his mother's platinum jubilee, and he just wants this to go away. So he liquidated all of his assets. He sold his Swiss chalet and probably paid her a couple millions of dollars, and is apparently donating as well to her charity. But she's getting money, and look, take the money and run, go live a good life, because no matter what happens from here on out, both Andrew and Virginia are going to permanently have a negative stigma attached to them. Andrew, on the other hand, is never coming back from this, which is unfortunate. He's basically going to go live in his house, give his millions of dollars that he gets from his inheritance, and I guess just live out his final years with Fergie. I don't know. But the point is no matter what, there was really no winners out of this situation. There's two people whose lives are permanently changed, and they're both going to have a negative stigma. Now, a lot of people are wondering, did the Queen bail him out? Well, I personally do not believe the Queen bailed him out. I believe all of that came from his Swiss chalet that he liquefied to pay for this case. So the other big topic is, of course, Prince Harry and Princess Eugenie were seen at the Super Bowl, and a lot of people were shocked that they were actually seen together, that she was in town. A lot of people didn't know she was in the States. Apparently, her and her husband are there. She has a big event that she's promoting voting on Thursday. So a lot of people thought it was kind of strange that it was just Prince Harry and Princess Eugenie. Both Jack and Meghan were not seen at the game. Apparently he got the seats through BetterUp, so to me it was kind of a work gig. Now Harry was seen smoozing with a few of the celebrities behind the scenes, but again, he looked like his usual unhappy self. He looked like he was a little confused during the game. He definitely looked very bored and unenthusiastic. But again, a lot of people, of course, were bringing up the question of why was Princess Eugenie there? She's the first member of the royal family, of course, to visit Harry and Meghan in the United States. And as I've stated in other videos, that Princess Eugenie has always been Team Sussex. I do have another video that you can click below. And a lot of people think that Princess Eugenie is the mole, that she is the eyes and ears of Harry and Meghan, trying to give them all the details of what's happening in the royal family in the UK. And I 100% believe that, because in my opinion, Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, although they are of royal blood, they are princesses, they've always been kind of a tier 2 royal, never quite invited to the party. Again, they do remind me of Cinderella's stepsisters. I'm sorry, but they do. They also give off a very pompous air, very privileged. There was many rumors that they weren't very nice to Kate because they were very jealous of her being a commoner, and of course she would be higher up the food chain of royals as well as higher up in popularity. And one day they will have to curtsy to her, and they don't like that. So now that Prince Andrew, of course, is on the outs with the royal family, and of course her mother Sarah Ferguson has always been on the outs with the royals as well, you know, Princess Eugenie and Beatrice are a little bitter toward the main royals. And now that Harry and Meghan have split with the royals, they decided to bank on the Sussexes. So I can totally see that she is Team Sussex, and I can understand that she would kind of relay gossip or information to them. However, it is rumored that Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are no longer speaking because Princess Beatrice is not on board with Harry and Meghan. Of course, that is all hearsay. So the two of them being seen at such a huge public event was kind of sending a signal that, hey, Harry is still in the royal fold. It's going to be very interesting when William and Catherine come over to the United States this year for the Earthshot Prize, if they will have any public outings, any photographs with the four of them together. That's going to be very interesting to see if Harry and Meghan attend William and Catherine's event. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. So the last story of the week, of course, is Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, is the latest royal to come down with the COVID-19 virus. We do know that her husband, Prince Charles, reported a few days before that he also is now sick with his second bout of COVID. Of course, Buckingham Palace is not confirming or denying if Her Majesty the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. So Her Majesty the Queen seemed to be in some good spirits. She was seen hosting some virtual meetings, so it was business as usual. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to check me out on the Royal Daily Tea website, as well as on TikTok and Instagram. I appreciate you being here. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because it really helps the channel. I'm on a quest, guys, to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we are very near the 6,000 subscriber mark. Now, when I get to the 6,000 subscriber mark, I will do a giveaway, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you for stopping by the channel, and have an awesome and amazing day. Bye, guys.